Okay, and we're live on the Niche Agent. So today we've got a great guest. It's Virginia Munden from Oakville. You're with Remax. So Virginia, why don't you take a quick second about yourself, or quick second, and tell us a bit about yourself and why you're here.
Well, I'm not sure why I'm here. I'm not sure why I'm anywhere. But the great thing is that we're together collaborating. It's always nice when you have agents from other brands want to collaborate with their colleagues. So thank you very much for having me on the Niche Agent, Ryan. I've been in business for 23 years. I started during a time when there was no social platform, there was no MLS, we didn't have a website, there was no realtor.ca, barely had a business card with a photo on it. And you know, the goal was to really work on your lead generation and your prospecting strategies. But there was not a plan back then, and we did not have the resources that we have now to build our business. You know, when I first started, I was on my own. As you know now, my husband and I, you know, work together. It is now the Wayne Munden team. Right. And we kind of like to really strategize with authentic marketing. We want to make sure we're really relevant in the real estate community, and we provide, you know, some competency and remain transparent to change. And I think that's one of the reasons why you've asked me to be on the show is, you know, we do things a little differently as opposed to the regular door knocking and cold calling and things like that, because our role is to build relationships in the community, not only with our own individual brand at Remax, but also with other brands across the country. We're big on working with agents, and that's very, very important to us.
And it's paid off very well for you. So
yes. Wayne was, you know, he's consistently in the top 100 teams at Remax. You know, as far as myself, I basically work the back end and work on lead generation and social strategies, mobile and digital components to the business. And as well, I speak around the world. You know, we've been to Turkey and the UK and Buenos Aires, Argentina. We were in Vienna, Austria a couple of years ago as well. And we like to share some of our you know, our lead generation strategies as well as our systems that we use when building a business that, you know, helps us to create that foundation for good business practices. I find that by engaging in international cultures that we really learn to negotiate a little differently compared to just how we negotiate here in Canada, because the European cultures are very, very different. Yeah. And yeah, they appreciate everything that we do, and they love learning from us. So we're like mentors, and I really believe in this industry we're mirrors to one another. So the more we collaborate, I think the better it is for the industry. We're a team that does not solely just look at ourselves and building ourselves, but we really want to work on building and elevating the real estate industry to the next level. So people like you that encourage these great learning components, thank you very much.
Oh, I appreciate you being on. And you and I actually met, you were organizing the Rebar West End, and I helped with the collaboration stuff. So
yes,
it's great to be able to collaborate with other agents and get different ideas, because I always say if you take one good idea and you can implement it, that's worth it. So
yes, absolutely. We just set a date for Rebar Camp, by the way. It's October the 27th. So we hope to have the Niche Agent there representing collaboration, and we'll definitely have you speak again.
Definitely love that.
Maybe we can set up a Google Hangout there where you can interview some of the agents and you can put together a cool little video for Rebar Camp West End.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, so one of the reasons we brought you here to be on the Niche Agent was some of the strategies you use on. I know there's a lot of agents who have tried it, they don't really get the strategies, and they kind of fall flat on their face, or they do push marketing and they don't get the results. So I want to talk to you a bit about the strategies you've done and what you've got from that.
And you know, it's interesting because social media it's almost like a form of geographical farming. We wake up every morning and we could be going for a walk in the neighborhood and delivering flyers or door knocking, but most of us, we basically sign into our computer and we start talking and engaging with our fan base. We'll call them our friends, our colleagues. And you know, is there a strategy? You know, do we plan it the night before? I don't plan who I'm going to talk to. I don't plan what I'm going to say. I don't have a system for Facebook or for Twitter. I'm basically who I am. And And what I deliver is more of a human component to make people understand that I am human. I am about community. I am about family. I am about business and work ethics. And I think that comes across with a lot of the content that I post. And, people always ask, well, who did you hire? Where do you buy your content? Where? It's like, wow, I mean, I'm 23 years in the business, and content is around us. It surrounds us, really. And you can create content by, I can go on Facebook right now and create content of our conversation right now, right? And have people engage and chime in on the conversation post. The interesting part is I take each individual post and I kind of create, we'll call it the kitchen table. And I remember when my mom used to have her friends over for a tea party, they used to come, they used to bring, cookies and flowers, and they used to talk for hours and hours about things. And it's no different on social media. If I'm going to create a post about, I don't know, something that took place during the day, a restaurant that I attended with a couple of friends, and some of the key things that we talked about, what's going to happen is people are going to start to comment or like. And then the interesting part of it, some of the people in that thread are going to start to talk to one another. Yep. Then they're going to start friend requesting one another. Then they're going to start communicating on their own Facebook walls together, and they're going to start building their relationships. The key is you start the engagement by connecting on the social space first. What you do with it on the offline space is what's very important. That's where you take your relationship from the online space, you take it offline, and that's where you very much so, I'm going to say, you're going to have to create, convert, and close. What's the opportunity to gain a client, a referral, or a potential lead for real estate? And just because we're friends on Facebook doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to refer to you. Where I really want people to understand is our relationship as it evolves is the main component. So the more I get to know you, the more I see you, the more I collaborate with you at real estate events, things like this that we're doing here on The Niche Agent. This is how we build relationships, and this is how we get to know one another. I understand what your value is. I understand your excellence within the industry. And those things are more important to me than just, oh, Ryan liked my post the other day. I think I'm going to refer my $1 million listing to him, right?
Yep. And I think, like you said, it was the offline part is just not is as important, or if not more. And a lot of people hide behind their computer, and they think they just sit on there and they share, they comment, and whatever. You have to have that offline. You have to meet in person. You have to build those relationships. For me, I know when I got started in the business, I had a friend. He gave me some good advice. He said, Ryan, he's like, get off your ass and go meet with the people. He's like, you can connect all you want online. He's like, but if you're not sitting down and having a coffee with these people, connecting with these people, nothing's going to happen. And I made a pact to myself. I said I was going to meet at least one new person a week. So I was new to the area. I got online and I strategically went after certain people, but I met them in person, and that totally changed my business. And that offline in real life is what it's all about.
It's so important. And if you can't get offline, Skype is amazing.
Yep.
I love Skyping. My connectors, we'll call them, whether they're in Calgary or in Vancouver or in Europe, and that provides a human element as well, because we're in a room, we're talking face to face, we've got a bit of eye contact going, and we're listening to a voice component. Yep. And that's very, very important. Just by being on Facebook is not enough. You've got to pick up the phone, you've got to ask for a meeting, you've got to meet for coffee, or go for lunch or dinner, or make the attempt that if there is an event like a rebar camp, who are the top 5 people or 10 people from the social space that are going to be in attendance? Who are they that you want to meet live?
Yep.
And you've got to use those events and those resources as a way to building your database, because the key people on the social space for me are the ones who appear knowledgeable and the ones who are authentic. For me, authenticity is key, because it's my main attraction to people. But when it comes to business, competency is extremely important. And I need to know that they are at their highest level of service. They're going to provide excellence to my customer. They care about the industry. They're trustworthy. They're loyal. They're dedicated. Those are the things that I need to know, and you cannot get that information on the online space. You really got to take it off for sure.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, a big part of your strategy is you are looking for agent-to-agent referrals, and you connect with a lot of agents all over, and that's grown your business. So can you share some of the...
And let me just tell you how important...
social media, using Facebook and things like that.
So in 2008, we spent over $100,000 in print newspaper.
Wow.
Okay? We had a very good year. That's when we were with another brand. Last year in 2013, we spent $15,000, and through the engagement component of social media, we received 36 referrals just from Facebook, as I mentioned to you earlier, and generated over $362,000 in gross commissions. From the newsprint, where we spent $100,000, I couldn't measure a lead if it was given to me, because we measure everything we do. I need to know where I'm spending my time, where I'm spending my money, and where I'm spending my efforts to build those relationships. And when we spent that $100,000, 0 leads were procured, and I couldn't even gain a phone call from that. Nobody's talking to you from a newspaper article. Everybody's standing the same, arms crossed, you know, they're number one, the same picture of the same house with the same description and the stunning kitchen. But when you're online and you're cultivating and procuring relationships, this is where people start to have a little bit of faith in connecting and wanting to know more about you. So, you know, 36 referrals, 362,000 just from Facebook. That was our biggest lead generator last year. So we added social media as one of our lead generation streams for 2014. And it's number 1 now. Database management is number 2, which from the database component last year was about 112 to 120,000. Again, we measure everything we do. From the strategies on social media, from the key people, let's say there's 5 to 10 key people each month. And remember, I've got about 26,000 out of all of my social components, 5,000 just from my Facebook connections with over 1,000 followers, and then the business pages. Right. So if I take 5 to 10 key agents every single month that I'm looking at building essential relationships with, I am going to take them and add them to my database. Now with the new anti-spam law, we have to now recommunicate with our database and ask for permission to communicate further in the future with everyone who's engaged in database management. Because what we do is we take our 5 to 10 main contacts that we want to build a business with from Facebook every month. We take those 5 to 10, we'll add them to the database, and then we'll start to communicate with them on a professional level. We want to build a business now, right? Yep. Facebook is for fun, making that connection, engaging. But when it comes to conversion rate and closing, you got to take them out of that forum and put them into a professional business forum. So we communicate. We have a system where we send out, we don't work with Morris Marketing or any of those template type email strategies. We create authentic marketing email platforms that go out to each and every one of our clients, past and present, as well as agents that have referred to us or we're looking at building our business with, and we send them an email once a month. We let them know what our proven data and statistics are, how many homes we sold, the number of days on the market, the list to sales ratio. We'll mirror that, compare it to the industry standards. We'll talk about community events, Oakville, Mississauga. We'll talk about holidays that are taking place in that month. Those are the things we want to communicate with for business opportunities. Everything else on the social space is about motivation, inspiration, a good pair of shoes, a nice burger, things that get people really moving in the morning, because people think I hang out there all day, but I don't. I make sure that by the time I leave the house at 9 o'clock, 9:30, that I've engaged and posted, 5, 6 relevant topics that relate to what people are interested in. Because when you're on the social space, there's 3 key factors that you want to ensure you're doing. You want to make sure that you're interested. Being interested in your fan base, in what they're doing, not just, you know, liking. And for me, it's difficult, and I'm trying really hard to be better at it because I am so busy. You have to be interested in other people. You have to provide interesting. How interesting are your posts? Are you posting a picture of a cat, your dog, you know, whatever, a rock, a carrot? I don't care. But what are you posting, and how effective and authentic is your strategy? How are people going to stay on your page, and why should they stay on your page? What is it that is going to create that curiosity for people to want to know more about you? So I want to make sure that I'm interested, I'm interesting, but where it really makes a huge difference is how instrumental are you? How instrumental are you in allowing people to think that they can be better than what they are? How can they provide better service? How can they provide better marketing? How can they make customers and people feel better about themselves? We're not here just to sell properties or homes. We're here to help people change their lives. So is that coming across in your social platform? I know for myself, I talk about my kids, my husband, you know, Rocco, my dog, who chews my shoes. I love cooking. I'm not a great gardener. I mean, the only green thumb I have is if I, you know, color my thumb green. But I love to post a lot of different things, mostly things that take place throughout the day that I can remember. You know, that I see the firemen washing their fire trucks. Like, those kind of things make women go gaga, right? I've been trying to get a picture of that still. But how much fun can you have? That's how people will remember you. The key, the key on Facebook, though, is when people reply to you or engage with you, the key strategy is to reply back. It's no different than a telephone. And there's a lot of ignoring going on out there. You have to, you know, read it and like it, or read it and comment. Yeah. People want to know that you have acknowledged their presence and their time, their gift of time that they've given you on the social space.
And that's exactly what I was going to say, is that it's a lot of agents use it as a push marketing, and they use it as a one-way street, and they want to get their message out there, and it's not. It's social media for a reason. It's about being social. You wouldn't go to a party, stand on a chair, and just talk about your listing, get off the chair, and walk out of the room. It's about engaging. It's about connecting. Just start talking about themselves. I'm not going to be interested. If they connect with me, ask about myself, then I'm going to connect with them and build a relationship with them. And the other side, too, is I see a lot of canned responses, the canned materials. There's programs out there that help post auto posts about real estate and stuff, and people can see through that. And if it's not real and it's not authentic coming from you, to me, it's not, I don't know, it's not effective, and people can see through it. There's an agent I know that hired someone overseas. They hired a virtual assistant to do online marketing for them and just do their posts. And to me, you can see that it's not them. It's not about them. It's just pushed cookie cutter messages, and they're not getting anything from it. So
yeah, you know, and you mentioned the word push marketing, and we're so not about push marketing. Our goal is to sell 150 homes this year by pulling people into what we believe is an effective strategy. And we want people to be pulled into what we love about our community. We want to share the values of community, the value of people, but also the value of our industry, because our industry is, you know, we're experiencing change right now. And some of the change is good. Some of the change, some people aren't sure of. You know, this whole thing with paperless. You know, I asked Wayne the other day, I want to see your paperless notes. And he put his head on my shoulder. And I'm like, what are you doing? I said, I want to see your paperless notes on your iPad. He says, Virginia, my paperless notes are in my head. You know, that's as paperless as Wayne is going to get. But, you know, these are things that we need to educate not only our consumer with, but we have to educate one another with. And, you know, we shouldn't be shy about asking questions on how to do paperless, how to use an iPad, how to use DocuSign or Evernote or Faltor, you know, whatever strategy we're using. But these are the conversations that are going on right now on the online space, and it's good to connect with people as well for learning and sharing, because the people who are working on elevating their business and using new strategies and new systems those are the people we want to stay connected to as well. Those are the people we want to refer our business to as well. We don't want to refer to people or work with people that are doing nothing but complaining. And trust me, there's a lot of agents out there. Oh, you know, you go to the office. Oh, Virginia, are you dead? Are you slow? And sometimes I lie. I'm like, yeah, I'm so slow. It's like, oh gosh, you want to go for lunch? Let's just be slow together. You know, they're so depressing. And instead of being depressing and sharing the negative, the negativity, why don't you work on improving your business?
Yeah.
Learn a strategy or two. Attend a webinar. Go to a real estate event. Oh no, those are a waste of time and a waste of money. We are in an era where we need to invest in ourselves. Whether it's $100, $50, or $500, we need to invest in ourselves. My children, for example, have sports coaches, training coaches, tutors to help them be better students and athletes.
Yep.
Why is it that as adults, as real estate professionals, we don't want to invest in ourselves? Instead of spending money on an ad, which is $500 or $2,000 for one day, why not take that money and invest in something that is going to make you a better online marketer, a better paperless agent, a better communicator? Maybe you want to take a linguistics course. You know, anything. You want to learn how to do a great listing presentation? Maybe someone needs coaching. There's so many ways for agents to gain that confidence level, but they're not going to do it by staying off the online space, by staying off social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. They got to get on and see what everybody else is doing, because you can really get a great buzz and a great high.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You're part of a number of the real estate groups on Facebook and things like that I'm part of, and you'll see very active agents in there who are doing a lot of business, and they're engaging, they're sharing content, they're asking questions, because they want to grow their business. You see there's agents who do nothing, they don't care, they don't ask, they don't get involved, and they say, oh, I don't have time for learning, I don't have time for that, and their business stays, either doesn't go anywhere or it goes down. It's the same with the conventions like Rebar. I always say, even if you go and don't learn anything, just to connect with other agents for referrals is worth it.
It's incredible. You know, we had almost 500 agents in our first year, remember?
Yep.
And like I said, we're going to get you more involved this year to make it even bigger. We'd love to get a really big crowd from Keller Williams attend as well. John Ferber and Sunny Daljeet. I love those two, and I love what they do and what they represent. I find that a lot of agents, they say they're going to go, they make the commitment. Some of them will even buy the ticket and not show up, right? But when you commit in this business, good things come to you. And we don't work business plans anymore. We work commitment plans, because when you work with commitments can be measured. When you work with goals can be broken. So sometimes we just like to change the dialogue, and we change our dialogue even on the online space. We communicate a little bit differently because we want people to pay attention. And the only way people will pay attention is if you say things differently, if you articulate things differently. And that's really important, I think, for the consumers to hear as well, because the consumers are also hearing the same things. Is it a listing presentation, or is it a business consultation? There's so many ways to engage. Oh, you're using an iPad mini for this presentation. Well, that's interesting. The last guy came in and had like 1,000 pieces of paper. How relevant are you? How competent are you? And how engaged is your conversation with the consumer? The consumer nowadays, when I talk to my son, who's 20 years old at university, I asked him one day to bring home all the newspapers and the real estate books so that we can take a look at some of the properties around the McMaster campus. Yep. And he says, well, why do I need them, Mom? I've Googled all the property that I need to see. I've got like 20 appointments set up for me and, the guys to go see. So you got to look at the consumer of the future.
Yep.
And they're the ones that are doing everything online. They're not looking in the newspaper anymore. And when you ask him, if you didn't have parents that were real estate agents or sales professionals, I don't want to get in trouble by Rico, sales professionals, how would you go about looking for your realtor of choice? Remember, 93% of the buyers are online searching for their property, while 75% of the sellers are online searching for their properties or searching for their agents of choice. And he said to me, I would probably look to see if they have a Facebook profile. Interesting answer.
Yeah.
I says, okay, what next? He says, I would look to see if they have a YouTube channel. This is coming from a 20-year-old. The consumer of the future is online. And this is where we need to be, is online. But the interesting thing, Ryan, is my kids are not on Facebook because the parents are on Facebook. They're doing Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter. Like, they're in a totally different form because they don't want to be lurked by their parents, right? So these are the things we study and that we want to know more of, because those are the people we want to hit in the future. And I know our team, we work with a very young team. Most of the people that are part of our team are in that 30 age group, because those are the current buyers right now. Your first-time home buyer, your move-up buyer from condo to townhouse to small detached. So, you know, being relevant is very important, and you get that from the online space.
So you were talking about the buyer of the future. I want to ask quickly about the agent of the future. If you were a brand new agent, had no business and no social media skills, what would you do, and what would you, if they were getting started, what advice would you give to them?
I would probably treat my business, and I just did this presentation at the opening of a real estate office in Barrie this week. I would probably treat my business like a business. I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to be a salesperson. I would probably ensure that I have some money in the bank. And if I don't, I would go apply for a small business loan. I would first of all start off with a database component. Database is very important because you want to make sure that when you meet people, you get permission to add them to that database so that you can start communicating with them real estate information, community information, results information. And if you don't have results information for yourself because you're brand new, use the data and the statistics provided by the office. How many homes does the office sell this month? You know, what was the list to sales ratio? How many days on the market? How many showings did the office generate for particular listings? So use the data and the resources of the office to make you appear relevant and successful. Database is really number one. If I had to do it again from day one, I would hire an administrative assistant 10 to 15 hours a week so that they can build my systems and I can concentrate on lead generation and building those essential relationships that are essential for our business, important for our business. Definitely, you know, a Facebook page. You know, Wayne has a Facebook business page under Wayne Munden where he talks about the Oakville community, the current, you know, data, you know, that's shared to us by the local real estate boards. You know, he talks about community events and the data that he oversees each month with his own personal listing inventory. But, you know, you have to have a social strategy. I would say Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook are probably three really good ones. People say YouTube. I mean, a lot of people are starting to do YouTube now. Are they doing it right? It doesn't matter. Everyone's just doing it. And I just think people are doing it just because it's amazing. The content is crap. It's not great content, so don't do it, right? I have a hard time with people doing things just because it's in style.
Yeah.
You still have to treat this business with professionalism, and you can't go and, you know, post things about yourself that are funny or fun. This is a business, and we have to treat it like a business. So if you're not giving out data statistics or relevant information about your brand or the beauty of your community or community events, you know, don't go and film a video on stupidity, we'll call it, because it does not make people look good. But those are probably the three key, you know, the three key strategies that I would work on.
For those listeners that don't know you. So yeah, for the people that don't know you, can you quickly talk about the Purple Cow? The
Purple Cow. I know, that's a great Purple Cow. Well, the Purple Cow is a book that was written by one of my favorite authors, Seth Godin, a New York bestseller, and it's basically how to be memorable in business. You know, how to provide authentic marketing strategies. We haven't done an ad in a newspaper in I don't know how many years, and we really concentrate on capturing the attention of people, of community, by being authentic, by being present, because again, most people are hiding behind a computer all day long. So, you know, what's our marketing strategy? The Purple Cow has been really, really good to us. We do a lot of online marketing. We do a lot of special events. I've got a great event that's coming up actually on May 30th. Men are invited, but it's one of the first events for women, Opportunity, which is helping to inspire, impact, innovate, and infuse excellence within the real estate industry. And we're going to be speaking with all the AREA, CREA, NAR, vice presidents and presidents about taking our business to the next level, and how do we get women to elevate to levels of leadership the same way men are. So we just like to do things that are really fun and different, and in return, because we're providing excellence to the industry, people will refer business to us. So we just like to do things that are a little bit different. We want to remain memorable. We want to remain top shelf and top of mind. And the key is really to get people to communicate and engage with you. You know, so it's like, oh, I want to refer to that girl. What's her name? The one with the purple cow, right? And then someone's going to know who the girl with the purple cow is, right?
I'll post a picture of the purple cow when I post this, so people.
That would be awesome. That would be so great.
Okay, so we'll wrap up quickly. So why don't you tell our listeners how they can get a hold of you if they want to check out what you're doing, see some of these events and things that you're doing. What's the best way for them to find you? Sure.
So the Wayne Munden team, which is Wayne Munden, can be reached at, we have 2 websites. We have a great mobile website right now by barcode, and it's called northoakvilleliving.com. We've also got our resource website, which is waynemunden.com. Our women's website for girls in real estate, which is really fun, is called womportunity.com, WOMPORTUNITY. Did I spell that right? Womportunity. So I hope I spelled that right. If not, I'll send you the link, and then you can.
We'll put the link. Yeah, we'll put the link below.
And then for anything related to real estate mentorship or coaching, you can visit me at virginiamunden.com. And that's just helping agents take their business to the next level, not strictly working on social media strategies, but really building a profitable and a sustainable real estate business. This is the best time to do that for young people. I teach people how to not waste their time, not waste their money, and not waste their energy on areas that are not helping them with lead generation. You know, our goal is to be lead generation warriors. We're not here just to sell a house. We're here to change people's lives, and that's the foundation of our beliefs in real estate.
Awesome, Virginia. We appreciate you being on the show. So thank you again, and hopefully the audience will enjoy it, and if they can connect with you below, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you so much for having me, Ryan.
Thank you for being on the show.
We'll see you at Rebar Camp.
We will. Thanks.
Okay, bye.